Okay, folks, there's some really big developments that have happened with censorship in Canada over the last 48 hours or so that I think you really need to know about. Um, the first one is that there's actually some breaking news here. It's in Ottawa City News, and I'm just going to show this to you. The headline says, "Request to move newspaper article among Ottawa's queries to social media giants." So it says, the article says that newly released documents show that a federal government department asked Facebook and Twitter to delete a newspaper article. So you guys know that Justin Trudeau has tabled these bills, Bill C-11, Bill C-18. They're censorship bills. You guys know that we've been fighting them because of this very thing. The government shouldn't be able to censor what Canadians say in a freedom of speech environment. And over the weekend, it wasn't just the government that was censoring information as well, too. It was also Twitter. The new CEO of Twitter, Elon Musk, said that he had decided over the weekend, they had made a decision essentially to throttle and suppress some of the links to rival platforms, including Substack. So what I've done in response to this is I have written a detailed piece for you that outlines what's happened in the last 48 hours and also talks about how big corporations, legacy social media platforms like Facebook, like Twitter, like Instagram, that rely on artificial intelligence-based algorithms, how they use these things essentially to change how you see information, how they use these things to throttle free speech. Instead of innovating, they're using these algorithms to and when they don't work, they're essentially using censorship as a way to sustain corporate profits. And it's not just social media platforms. You've got governments as willing participants in this, and you also have legacy news outlets that are willing participants in these censorship bills that Justin Trudeau has tabled. So the article that I've written, it's called "They Didn't Want You to Read This." The link to it is in the comment section here. I gotta tell you, anytime I post a link to my long form articles, it doesn't get shown. If you're seeing this right now, it's literally a miracle. And I ask you to click on the link in the comment and read through this article because it goes through in detail everything that's happening. I'm a Canadian Member of Parliament. If you're seeing this and you don't know who I am, click on this and please click subscribe. And I'm going to tell you why it's so important to click subscribe to the link that's in the comment feed. I'm taking the time to write these long form articles because of everything that's written in here. I know that these social media platforms, they are using algorithms to essentially feed you things that it wants you to see. And it wants me to behave in certain ways, say and do certain things to allow you to see the content. And that's not the way freedom of speech works, right? Then you've got the Liberal government with bills like C-18 and C-11, which actually are designed to censor and select via the government what type of content you want to see. Can you imagine? Do you think that they're very excited about an opposition member writing critical articles? Of course they're not. But in a free democracy, that's part of the democratic process. And that is why I'm writing these things for you. If you click subscribe, it's so important to click subscribe because what it allows me to do is directly communicate with you. In this article, I tell you how these social media algorithms are sort of preventing that type of interaction, number one. And number two, why new emerging platforms like the one I'm writing on here, there's a lot of other ones too, are designed to have direct communication and cut out the middleman of government and cut out the middleman of artificial intelligence algorithms to allow you, that prevent you from seeing what I'm putting out or what other people are putting out, and that also prevent people like me from having their message heard. And this isn't a joke. This isn't hyperbole. Literally, you've got the government, the Liberal government, tabling two bills that are designed to allow the government to suppress what type of content you see. And then you've got social media companies and even like Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk came out and was like, oh, Twitter's going to be a bastion of free speech. And then over the weekend, when a rival or a competitor is emerging, instead of trying to innovate the company or come up with a better product, you've got a CEO like him essentially resorting to censorship. And that's not right. What I want to say is you have the power to choose what you want. And this should be a message that transcends political stripe. I'm trying to write and come up with alternative formats of communicating with you so that I don't have to just be reliant on social media algorithms or legacy media to bring issues to the forefront that are of importance to my community. That's part of me fighting as a legislator to make sure that my constituents' voices are heard. But by doing that, I'm trying to give you an option to communicate with me, or at least hear what I'm saying in a way that isn't suppressed. So again, the link is in the comments. Sometimes when I put the link in the video description, that further suppresses the content. I ask you to subscribe to it. Even if you don't agree with everything of what I say, you should know what opposition members are saying in this country. It's important that we have freedom of speech. And clicking subscribe allows me to directly communicate with you. I can't believe I have to say this over and over again, but this is where we're at in Canada. I really don't believe that the path that we're on with the Liberal government and their censorship bills is going to allow for freedom of speech unless, people of all political stripes say enough is enough. We don't want social media, artificial intelligence algorithms telling us what we can and can't see. We want diversity of thought. We want diversity of opinion. Even if you don't agree with something that somebody says, you should have the right to hear it and comment on it and see and share it, right? And certainly, as a member of parliament, I try to keep my communication lines open with emails to my office, with new ways of communicating like this, but at the same time, trying to make sure that, my message isn't just totally denigrated by bots and other things that these platforms and algorithms that these other platforms haven't really dealt with in a meaningful way that encourages both innovation, positive communication. They're private companies. We want to make sure that they're making a profit. But we also have to make sure that the underpinning of democracy, freedom of speech, is saved and preserved. So, again, in this article here, I have spent a lot of time laying out for you what happened over the weekend with Twitter, this breaking news about the federal government department asking social media giants to suppress articles. And I also outline why it's so important for you to be looking for alternative platforms and ways to communicate with people, and that the power is in your hands. So again, click on the link that's in the content, or the link that's in the comments here. Click subscribe and share this video. I'm trying to make sure that in my work as a legislator, I'm raising awareness and not just giving up and throwing my hands up as these obstacles are thrown at me in trying to get my message heard across the country. So even if you don't agree with me as a conservative, you should support my right to speak, and you should support my right to be heard. And you should also support, more importantly, your right to be presented with this type of information without big legacy social media companies, broadcasting companies, print media outlets, whatever, and the government being the arbiters of freedom of speech and the right to speech. So again, links in the comment feed. Click subscribe, share this video. Working hard for you. Have a great day.